Hey, Brandon here. This is channeled advice on the week ahead. This is for August 4th through August 11th, actually August 5th, Monday to Sunday. So 5th through the 11th. I have some channel messages that came through ahead of time from my spirit guides, the angels and source for you. And I'll also be flowing with any additional information that comes through from my spirit guides, the angels and source and or intuition while I'm rolling through these. So let's get started. The first thing that came through ahead of time, well, they're actually kind of bringing through something new for the first thing here. They're showing me a cricket. And there's this message about lucky breaks, which came through on one of the channeled timeless readings that was for a live a couple weeks ago, actually. So there might be some of those for you this week. It's really a message to seize them when they come in. Don't like second guess. Don't hesitate if something lucky comes up or you get a great opportunity and it feels right to you intuitively. Really just receive that. So there is a good time of luck this week and probably the time ahead. So just receive the good things that are happening with that if you notice that showing up for you. So number one, the first thing that came through ahead of time, they showed me a grasshopper as well as interestingly enough, a guillotine. So the message is move forward and you will be fine. Do not be afraid, just move forward. So this is not a great time to stall out. So for example, if you need money, don't just like freeze. It might be better if you are like actively applying for jobs or doing what you have to do, within reason. And, that's aligned, highest and best aligned and for the highest good. So sometimes when things look dire, there are people who don't do anything. However, this is not the time for that. I'm not suggesting that all of you are going to be having a dire time right now. It's just one of those times where it's probably better to be taking action than just staying still all week and not doing anything for your situation. So anywhere you feel called to move forward, please do. Yeah, that's kind of the main gist of the message here. Think of grasshoppers, they jump, they leap, they can fly. And usually maybe there are grasshoppers that hesitate to leap, but in this example they don't hesitate to leap. So just keep moving forward on things, I suppose you could say. Just keep trucking. Next, number two, they show me a chipmunk and they gave me the word cute as well. So there's a couple messages with this one. One, get out in nature and take time for yourself. This is a great time to gather abundance and work towards abundance, and the universe is helping you find your abundance. So take action towards abundance. The universe has leaps forward for you in that area. So it almost kind of furthers number one. So aside from the get out in nature and take time for your part, which kind of seems always important, it seems like a continuation of, last week, if I'm not mistaken. And we might be in periods of time where certain things last longer than a week. So sometimes these messages might show up, for more than 1 week in a row. And that's okay. That just kind of makes sense to me. And the other thing here, I'm getting this is an abundant time where it really can be. You might not all feel like you're in a totally abundant time, but at the very least, it's a very good time to take action towards abundance because there's a lot that can come about from that. So you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to freak out and try to take all the actions. Like, what are the steps that make sense that could further your abundance? Or can you invite in the action steps that will bring you abundance? So next they show me a space station for now. Actually, they want to go further into the word cute that came through for the second thing here. So what's up with that? Kind of like has been coming through. I would really gravitate towards things that bring you joy, that light you up, and really intentionally bring those into your world and even fill your time with them or some of your time with them. It really can shift the energies and bring you to a better place. And when you're in joy, you're going to attract better, is what I'm hearing. It doesn't always have to be make or break, where terrible things are going to happen if you're not in joy, because that's a little bit silly, However, consciously moving yourself towards joy is going to be great and could change a bundle for you. So number three, there's a space station they showed me, and the message is like, don't let others in their stories of like lack of success or something like that discourage you. There are many perspectives and angles people can look at things from, and you buying up all the fear-based ones is not helpful. So look at things from what's possible for you, not, well, it didn't work for that person, so I'm just going to give up. Or, it didn't work for them, so why even bother? It's really time you took your destiny into your own hands instead of listening to everyone else who says you can't do it, even like indirectly or discreetly or like sneakily, or it's like a third hand where you're hearing it from someone else online. So the other thing is like there might be some news from other people about lack of success going around. Don't buy it or apply it to your life when it doesn't fit. To me, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of saying like, just because it didn't work out for someone over here doesn't mean it won't work out for you. So let's say you'd like to start a spiritual business, for example, and you're hearing from your friend or someone online about the horror stories of how it went for them. You are not them. Your circumstances aren't the same. There might be something they're not disclosing that they did that was really, the word I'm hearing is stupid. I'm not calling them stupid, but maybe they just did something that wasn't very smart in their business. That's the reason they didn't succeed. And maybe they just don't see that or they're not willing to acknowledge that. So they'd rather throw around the horror story and blame the universe than look at themselves and be like, what did I do or what could I do differently? Or maybe look at the broader perspective of like, hey, universe, like what's going on with this? Where is this leading? So because there are many angles you can take when you look at certain things. So try to look at what's possible for you and what the universe is calling you to and what the universe is pointing you towards, not just getting wrapped up in the horror stories of others or the victim mentality of others or the blame game that others are playing. And you don't have to buy into their reality that nothing's going to work for you because it didn't work for them, as an example of what this is talking about. So don't let yourself get discouraged unnecessarily. Number 4, they showed me a red robin, and the message is indulge. It's okay to indulge and live your life abundantly. What can you enjoy this week? What can you give to yourself that you've been asking for in a balanced way? Don't withhold abundance from yourself because others might judge it or judge you giving yourself abundance. Give to yourself. I feel like this came through pretty recently as well somewhere where it's kind of important you're giving yourself a good life. Like, sometimes that is your responsibility to choose your abundance, choose the things that are going to move you that way, choose to give to yourself with your money, for example. And you don't have to go crazy with this or spend your life savings or do anything irresponsible with it. You could, but if you've been like, an example that's coming to me is like you've been wanting a hot tub and you keep not getting one because you think the neighbors will judge you or because of some silly reason, but you kind of really have the money set aside for it. It really wouldn't hurt you to do it. It's like, well, you could just do it because that might add something really good to your life, or maybe you'll have a life-changing, well, what's the best way to, maybe you doing that is important in some way because maybe you start a thing for yourself, a ritual for yourself where you're in like the hot tub every night and that's where your thoughts percolate and you get life-changing ideas or the universe really speaks to you while you're in that hot tub. Or it could just bring more joy and more relaxation, more balance to you, and that moves the energies in some good ways. So just be abundant with yourself. It's okay to enjoy yourself and your life, and that's part of why you came here. So number 5, they showed selenite. They just said, as things clear out, hold the space. As things leave, as projects leave, or if people leave, you don't have to fill those spots immediately. You can hold the space for the right thing. Don't rush to fill an empty spot in your life. Wait for the right time or thing to come in and trust that you will know it when it's there. So some of you might not feel this one as much as others right now. For those of you who have certain things leaving and you know it, this is for you. For others of you, maybe just keep this in mind for the future, where it's like, just make sure the things coming into your life are the right things. Like if it's romance, like, is the person coming to fill that romance slot in your life the right or best option for you right now that's really going to meet everything you need, for example? If you have a friendship spot open, does it really make sense to just throw any old Joe, no offense if your name's Joe, in there to fill that spot? Like sometimes it makes more sense to let the universe bring the right thing for you than just like rushing to fill a void, okay? So I would invite in the right things for you. Number 6, it's just a message that they kind of had me throw this in right before I filmed it. They said, your path, not someone else's. And for this, it's just kind of make sure that you are going down the path you would like for yourself. And that can be you working with the universe and what that looks like. However, make sure it's not just another path someone wants you to take. It's important that you are making your own choices. It's one thing if you're working with your intuition and divine guidance and your spirit guides recommend something. That's a bit different than like your mom's angry, you're not doing the thing that will, reflect well on her, in her mind, because people might not even be thinking that way. They might not go like, oh, look at so-and-so's mom because they chose this. The example that's coming to me is spiritual route over business degree or something like that. And people might not even be thinking that it's gonna your choices reflect on the mom at all, or they may, but either way, it may or may not be true, and it kind of doesn't matter. And it's not on them to control you and your choices because they think you reflect on them. It's on you to kind of more live your life and do what's right for you and make the best choices for you, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of a reminder to own your power and make your own choices in life to the best of your ability. I would fully recommend working with your intuition and divine guidance on it too. However, it's your life. So there's just a reminder for you there that it's, again, it's important you're taking the best path for you, not what someone else just wants you to take for their own agenda or for whatever other reason. There's one more they're adding in here before we part ways. Bluebird's been very popular recently. So let me see what the message is with this bluebird showing up here. The message is the end of war energy. So there are some fights that are petering out in your life. There are some, I'm hearing, just to get it across, I guess, negative energies that are leaving, if you will, or disharmonious energies or lower vibrations that are leaving. So I'm getting you're probably going to find a lot more peace this week or an easier time navigating certain circumstances or relationships. Maybe not all of them, though there's a certain amount of war energy that's just not going to be controlling things as much is the way I'm hearing it. So that's it. And they're kind of saying that's it. There's no more. So I hope that helped, resonated to whatever was for your highest good. I hope you have a great week ahead.